Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic and this is another reaction to Madoka Magica. It is episode 8 and you know how it is. As always, if you want to see the reaction itself, just go down to my description links and follow it to my Google Drive, replace the dots and you will find my reaction. Once you've watched it, you're very welcome to come back here and listen to what I think about this episode. So, see you soon. For those of you who came back, welcome back. What an episode. Well, there happened quite a lot and we are finally getting a little bit more light into what is going on, really. So a lot to talk about. So let's just start with it, right? So we started off with Sayaka still going crazy on the witch. Well, I kind of feared it would happen what happened in the end, you know? That she was on her way down into darkness, and in the end she was. She did this head tilt, which one of you mentioned to me seems to be a common thing from the company that creates Madoka Magica and other series as well, that they have this very strange head tilt. I've seen this one, yeah. Sayaka gave the seed that she got from the witch away. So she gave it to Kyoko instead of using it, so her her soul gem in the end darkened even more. And then she went off with Madoka, but she was completely done. She was really when it came to the body, she was weak, she was tired and exhausted. There was a major thing, in my opinion, while Madoka and Sayaka talked. You could see there was a moment when Madoka wanted to put her hand onto Sayaka's hand, but Sayaka had already turned away. And there was like the first step for what happened later on, when Sayaka completely moved away. So she insulted Madoka and then ran away from her. That was the first beginning, this turning away from your friend, going away alone. That is clear what is happening there. She blamed Madoka for what was happening because Madoka was not doing it. In my opinion, this is a typical thing. If you know you're doing something wrong, it is not easy to tell that yourself, so you try blaming it on others, and especially if there are people you like, you are very good at you know how to hit those people. So there was this typical striking out because she herself felt pain, but she didn't want to admit it there. So she struck out towards Madoka with words and feelings, and hit, no question there, and then ran away, knowing that she did wrong. So she hurt herself even more. She fell even more into despair, kind of convinced herself that by now she broke like the last bridge to her friend, so that there's now finally no one anymore who wants her around. So she was more neither actively going into the darkness, but what I see clearly, I completely understand why it happened and how it happens. I do not really blame her for it. I can see that many people possibly think she's, I don't know, weak or acting stupid. But she, well, had a lot of bad luck with situations on the one hand, and I'm pretty sure that Kyubey, in the times when he talked to her, kind of created the path for her to go into. So this is all too fitting, you know? I'm pretty sure he had his little white hands in his little paws somehow. So she fell into darkness. Then additionally in the train, she had to listen to some idiots talking about what they thought about, in their opinion, women should be treated like. I wouldn't be surprised if we would see in any other, if they would do like time lapse, you know, jumping back in time stuff. if we would see that those two were, as example, influenced by Kyubey or a familiar or anything to act as bad as possible. Because what she did, everything that went into darkness, she always tried to explain to herself that she wants to do good on the world. And like a balance effect, as she tried to say in the end. And in this moment when she heard those talking, it completely finally broke away the belief in good in her. This question that she asked, is this world worth to be rescued? And if you listen to people like that, it shouldn't be, you know. So that's the moment when she completely vanished in the end. Kyoko found her, but what she found more neither was just a shell, you know, the rest of her. And this last drop is possibly like, I don't know, the last bit of soul that runs out and gives up in this moment. So this was a tear of giving up everything that she stood for before. In a very bad way, it is a masterpiece of Kyubey, what he did there. He took a girl who truly believed into doing good on others without asking for herself. So really positive girl, and we've seen what she did for the boy. Yes, she did it because she likes him, but still there was an awesome thing to be done. And he was able to turn her completely around. I am kind of afraid we will see next episode the dark version of her, which will very likely be about despair, about that people are not worth to be rescued and everything. We had the discussion on this between the just searching for her name, not Mommy. Oh well, I don't have the name written down. The friend of those two, and the violin boy. We couldn't hear what they were saying, and it might very well be that they were instead talking about Sayaka, because I think that might be possible, that she is like telling him, you know, that she likes you, something like that. Sure, it could be that she's asking him to go with her as well, might be, but Sayaka couldn't hear it, and she stood there. So there was once again an active dagger in her back by herself. So she even watched how her world crumbled. That is it is kind of sick, but it is a not so uncommon thing. If you have ever been sick or you felt bad, there is a strange moment when you're like feeling good in feeling bad, and you want to even make it worse in a strange way. I don't know how to say that. It is a strange thing. You're like rolling into the mud of despair and enjoying the fact of it. And I think that is what happened there. More neither overall the episode right now. What else did we have? We got that. Well, in the end, she killed familiars, so she couldn't clean up. Homura appeared, so that was interesting. Homura tried to save her, and Sayaka said, I do not trust you because you're lying. Which was true, as we learn now, but the reasons were different. So Homura tries everything just to make sure that Madoka is not turning. And the reason is that, as it seems, Madoka someone saved Homura, I guess, in this other timeline that she mentioned later on. So she instead said, if you want to kill yourself, Sayaka, then I as well can do it. Which is where Kyoko jumped in and stopped her. Which is, in my opinion, the right thing to do, sure. But there, once again, we have this misinformation, this missing information. I asked myself really after this episode, what would have been if Homura would have stated the truth from the beginning? I guess she couldn't, because she was afraid that Kyubey would catch on. But a lot could have been avoided this way. However, Homura really seems to be pretty powerful, summoning a grenade from her equipment, like a stun grenade kind of, you know, flashbang, something like that. And then we had the culmination in this episode, so the discussion between Madoka and Kyubey, where he really for a second nearly got me. So for a moment I was like, oh man, he really wants to help. And then I was like, wait a second, you distrusted him all the time. Don't let yourself be fooled. And it was right. I mean, he really is good at this game. So he had Madoka at the moment that she was willing to turn for the thing to rescue Sayaka. As we guessed before, my guess was she would do it to revive Mami. Here it was to rescue Sayaka, to get her out of despair and everything. So she's willing to do this for someone else. And yeah, there was a moment where Kyubey nearly got it, and then he was shot. And he was completely wrecked by Homura, who then confessed more neither how much she feels for Madoka. I mean, she was crying, she was breaking down in front of her, telling her not to sacrifice her always for others. So that happened before. Sad thing is that Madoka ran away. We are in the same problem again. She's missing important informations. And Kyubey came along again. If it is Kyubey, don't know. Possibly it's more like a name of the species, whatever they are. Ate the dead version of himself and was just back and said like, seriously, it's the second time you killed me. So, and he got the fact that she is from another timeline. So this is what it is about. Why she knows so much, and why on the other hand he doesn't really know her, doesn't catch her so good, because they are not really completely connected. Other timeline is complicated. I guess her wish when she became a magical girl was something that gave her an ability to jump between timelines. Possibly. However, she knows what his plan is in the end, and states that she wants to, whatever cost, will stop him on achieving it. One can guess that the plan involves turning Madoka very much. If she is so powerful, and as we know now, magical girls become witches. I called it. She would become possibly like the ultimate witch. So there is a two-sided plan going from Kyubey as far as I see from the incubator. He gets little girls into magical girls. They kill some familiars and witches, possibly the weak ones. Then they turn, sooner or later they turn into witches themselves. Some of them at least. Those that turn are possibly more powerful than the ones they killed, so it is a growing situation. The witches in general just get stronger. And those that were killed, the grief seeds, once they are full, you know, filled with the work of the magical girls, by the way, you know, they go to Kyubey. So it is a win-win situation. He gets more and more dark energy over time. Weak witches are being killed, and the energy, the grief seeds in the end still go to him. And he gets new witches and possibly stronger ones by using the magical girls for every purpose possible. So I guess that's not good and a clever plan, however. So what's now? What's next time? Well, Madoka is searching for Sayaka. We have seen that Kyoko was being thrown away by the explosion. So I guess she's not yet fighting against Sayaka. I don't know. Well, thus everything is changed now. I'm really not sure what will happen. Sure, there could be now something like time travel stuff, blah blah, but I don't think so. It could be happening that Madoka is turning. Could be. But I still think it's unlikely. The one reason would be if she now meets Sayaka as being a witch. We will possibly have some kind of encounter this or the next episode now. With Sayaka in her despair mode being a witch. I think it might be possible that Sayaka is actively going after two persons. Her former friend that more neither asked her hope to be boyfriend out, and the boy himself. So being in despair and dark, it wouldn't be surprising if she lashes out to those. I think Homura will try to find Madoka, sure. But I'm not sure if she's able to, because Kyubey knows now what's happening, so I guess he has something in the back, and he should have options to stop Homura. And if it just is that he like sends every witch in the city after her, I don't know. So that's it. We will see. Next episode will definitely be interesting. That's it for now. Oh, by the way, I've seen in the room of Homura this swinging thing and the floating pictures and the fact that it a little bit felt like a witch's room as well, which makes sense now. So not sure about the swinging thing, what it was, but we will see maybe. So, however, I hope you liked that. I did like it, was interesting for sure. And I will see you next time. Until then, my name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye and out.